and joined by Jason Blankenship, one of the only guy that been on a couple of playoff teams. I guess you had some teammates too.
Yeah.
But Mike, first of all, they're celebrating the 100-year anniversary of Oak Hill football. What's that, as a player, former player and coach, what's that mean to you?
I think it's exciting. I think it's something that should be recognized. A lot of great players have played here individually, and a lot of great teams, and also some great coaches over the years, assistant coaches. And so you think of some of the head coaches that are around here still coaching. Jim Martin, Eddie Zoot, Toby Harris are still active coaches. Casey Crane's in South Carolina. So there's a lot of good guys around that were part of head coaches. And then you think of all the great players that played here. It's too many to name, but it's a great thing to celebrate.
I would say you're the only guy then that was on 6 different playoff teams. There have been only 9 playoff teams, which you think about, that's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
But of course, making the playoffs back in the 60s, before that was pretty hard. Only a couple of teams went every year. But you were on 6 of the 9. What does that mean to you, just to be on the kind of like the golden years of Oak Hill football, really?
Yeah, it was special to play under Coach Martin and be a part of 3 playoffs as a player, be a part of the first playoff win back in 2000 against Independence, and then as a coach, an assistant coach under Eddie Zoot, to go to 2 playoffs as AAA, and then be a head coach to play against Bluefield as a head coach in the playoffs. So 6 out of the 9, it's been special. It's a big part of my life still. I helped with the change as last year, even not coaching. This year, I've helped with some of the TV streams and talking about the game. So it's been exciting just to be a part of everything.
What did it mean something to you guys as a team that you were the first one to win a playoff game? Were you guys cognizant of that, but that you were the first ones to win a game in the school history?
Yeah, I don't know how much we knew about that, because Coach Martin's an old school guy. He ain't going to tell you some of that stuff. But I was a sophomore, we're playing Independence, first home playoff game as well for Oak Hill. So it was a big win. It set us up for the next few years of success. And some really great players on those teams as well. Chris Nelson, and Marcus Grasty, Adam Bolin, some of the all-staters that played here, Nathan Fell. So great players, great coaches, and then I don't think we knew it was the first win, but now looking back, it's pretty special.
Is there any one moment that you remember during your career, either as a coach here, you still work here at the high school, is there any moment with the football program that stands out for you above?
Yeah, there's a lot of small things that stick out as a player and as a coach as well. But overall, just some of the relationships I've built and some of the teammates I've been around and coaches and assistant coaches I've been with that have been great. And thinking back as a player, this is just something recent, but the passing of Ben Thornton in Monroe County, my first ever start as a player at Oak Hill was against James Monroe, against Ben Thornton's team back in 1999. So looking back, that's even more special to get to play against him. And so little things like that, and as a coach, playing in those playoff games is pretty good too.
What does Oak Hill football mean to you? I mean, I'm sure that would be a little bit of what you just commented on, but you look at programs like Martinsburg, their staff's always winning state championships. Being at Oak Hill, it's going to be a smaller school. You're always going to have a bigger hill to climb, and it's kind of always been that way. What's the program meant to you overall?
I think just look at like you said, it's a challenge sometimes. It's a smaller AAA, and we're bouncing back and forth between AA, and then the evolution of the school with Mount Hope, Fayetteville, and Valley coming in. That's a whole different change that a lot of people don't realize we went through the last few years. And so I think it's an awesome thing for the football program, and I think this program has created and opened doors for guys to go on into college, to go on to good jobs and different things. And so there's a lot of success stories that come out of this football program.
Are there certain names that stand out to you when you think of Oak Hill football?
Yeah, you look back a little bit before me, and guys like Monty Wright, William Jackson, Ricky Penn, those guys that I kind of looked up to as a young guy, a middle school player. Then to get up here and play with some of the names I mentioned, Chris Nelson, first team All-State running back, Adam Bolin, Nathan Fell, Ricky Richmond. These guys played college football. They all went to the next level. And then, some of the recent guys that I got to coach and play, Jalen Jones, Corey Bass, Antonio Gray, some of these guys, and I'm missing some of the names, but those are just some guys that really stick out to me. Coaches, Jim Martin, Eddie Zoot, Toby Harris, all great guys that I got to work with and work under. Casey Crane, another guy that I got to work under, very intelligent. So there have been a lot of great people here under this program.
Tom Mason was a long-time coach here too. I know you know Coach Mason. Do you guys get to reminisce ever? Did he tell you some of the things that happened back in his days when he was coaching?
when I first got the job, got to talk to Coach Mason some. He was resigned, as I was probably a midget league player back at that time, but definitely know some of the history and some of the guys he played and coached with, and he would tell you some stories, and some good stories, some bad stories, but them old coaches, they can tell stories for days, and Coach Mason's one of those guys.
You were a first team All-State as well.
Yeah, I was first team All-State 2 years, junior and senior year.
And that means something to be on that list with 35 other first team All-Staters.
Yeah,
and I think the names are down there at the field.
Yeah, this is a good story involving you, David. You came down and did an interview with me, and you told me how many tackles I had one time, and Coach Martin wouldn't tell me. He wouldn't give you the stats. And that was a year that I got to be first team All-State, and I was kind of surprised. And I remember you said, you don't know how many tackles yet? And I didn't know, and I still remember that. But it's special to be recognized as one of the top players in the state. And we had a lot of great other players on our teams at that time as well. So good memories, and get to play the North-South All-Star game and represent the school. And so that was some good stuff.
How many tackles did you have?
I know now because I can look back, but I had I think 401 tackles in 4 years.
And I knew that.
You knew that. You had that wrote down.
It was an amazing step right there.
Yeah, you had it wrote down, and Coach Martin would never tell me that stuff. But after I graduated, he gave me the statistics and let me look at it.
And you got guys like David Gorby's on staff now doing a good job of he's starting to get some of this stuff together. Is it important to you as a younger guy to see this stuff start to come together when you're going to have a list of guys? And a lot of schools have been lost. But you got jobs like Dave's doing, getting all this stuff together.
Yeah, David Gorby does a great job. I've got to coach with him as an assistant with him. I've got to be a head coach. He's been an assistant under me. We coach basketball together. He keeps all this statistical stuff together, and he's doing a great job of keeping the history alive for a lot of these people from Mount Hope, Oak Hill, Fayetteville Valley. He can give you all that information. I think it's important that we value the history and keep that as we move forward with the program.
Well, how do you go about differentiating the schools? They each one have its own identity, or?
Yeah, that's tough. As a coach and as a player, you want to make sure that it's Oak Hill, and that is what it is right now. But we don't want to forget about those schools either, because they have rich football tradition at three of those schools. Valley, Fayetteville, and Mount Hope have great football history, and so if we can keep some of that stuff alive and let people remember the great coaches and players at those schools, I think that's great as well.
How many guys have you heard from a lot of guys coming back on Friday night? How many you figure you might get?
I'm not sure what you'll get. There'll be some guys come back, and probably some faces we haven't seen in a long time, some people that we didn't expect to show up. I just hope that people come out and support it. This doesn't happen often. There's a lot of schools that have closed and not going to ever reach 100 years, and so been consolidated. And so this is something special, and hope a lot of people come out and enjoy it.
Blake, I appreciate the time, and 401 tackles, that's pretty darn good.
Yeah, we did the best we could. Yeah, we did the best we could.
All right, thanks, Blake.